Thank you all so much for coming. Cool endings here. We have a terrific show planned for you tonight, which showcases our two leading candidates discussing one of America's most hot-button issues as of recently and unfortunately for the foreseeable future. This channel has some very exciting things planned for the foreseeable future, though, so be sure to subscribe down below and stay tuned for all the exciting new adventures yet to come. Speaking of excitement, this might cause a little stir. I will be playing a new song tonight entitled Both Sides, which is slated to come out on my forthcoming release sometime next summer, maybe sooner. It has yet to be recorded. Anyhow, we have a terrific night ahead of us. Please take it all in good fun as it was intended. Oh, and be sure to check down below for details regarding video scripts for sale. There are still many available, but remember, I only offer one per video, and they are available directly after each episode airs. All you have to do is email the address below with the words script in the subject line, along with the title of the episode you so desire. Tonight's episode will also include a chance to purchase a canvas painting, which was used during filming. There are also 2 notebooks available. See the description down below for details. My latest album, Talk Through Music, is available now on all streaming platforms, along with custom vinyl, clear-cut, lathe records, available at coolendings.bandcamp.com. We're going to kick off this evening's events with a tune entitled Both Sides, and as I've said, this is yet to be released, so don't go looking for it no place else. All right, are you ready? Here we go. I'm beginning to see clearly both sides. See behind the opinions of the left and right. Done some wrong, done some right. Paid my dues and I made up my mind. Whoa, it's gonna be just fine. Whoa, it's gonna be just fine now, baby. Desperado on a second chance, a little less bravado than his last romance. Did it once, do it again. May I have this dance? Can I take your hand? Oh, take your hand tonight. Whoa, take your hand tonight now, baby. Whoa. Beginning to see clearly both sides. See behind the opinions of the left and right. Done some wrong, done some right. Paid some dues and I made up my mind. Oh, it's gonna be just fine. Whoa, it's gonna be just fine. Whoa. you. Thank you so much. Cool endings. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cool Endings, for another stirring performance. Let's get back to the issues at hand, shall we? My name is Royal Gorge, but you may call me Royale. Now, I would like for everyone to open their hearts and minds tonight as we discuss a topic that affects each and everyone's lives at some period. No pun intended. Not her body, not her choice. This breeds a dissociative and disturbing train of thought to young women that during their lifetime, their bodies will no longer be under their own control. Humans have very little under their total control, and women have even less. If puberty and hormonal imbalances were not enough, women have to deal with an onslaught of expectations and societal standards, on top of a monthly dose of scarlet from their Johansson. Taking any more control away from these women would appear to be an utter disservice to the human race and our fledgling scientific-based society. Young women are being told that they are ticking time bombs of servitude and need to guard vehemently against any misguided decision that could quicken their descent from total autonomy. Young men have been warned again and again to use protection when sexually active. Yet this warning, more often than not, appeals to the possibility of pregnancy rather than the spreading of STDs. How you doing? Woo! How y'all doing tonight? God damn, it is a warm one in here. Alrighty then. Hope you don't mind if I get myself situated for a minute. Alright, my name is Mitch Tutcherson. As you can see here. Yeah, alrighty. That's nice. Alright, that's nice. How you all doing tonight? Now, like I said, my name's Mr. Tutcherson. Seeing that we came here to have a debate, might as well get comfortable. Men are walking around with loaded weapons in their pants, ready to end any unsuspecting young woman's life in a few curious moments of misguided pleasure. As soon as that sperm comes into contact with that there egg, that young girl's life has been forfeited for the potential new life now growing inside her. She should be considered merely the vessel and be forced to carry the child to term, spend the next 18 years housing, feeding, and tending to it. Many young women, barely 18, often even younger, when first considering abortion as a possible option, they should know from the beginning they're risking indentured servitude to any potential life they may bring into this world, which should cause even the most virile young men to become helplessly flaccid. Our economy needs new life in order to function, and basically runs on manual labor under the age of 30. Yet to continue feeding an already struggling machine and expecting it to somehow get better, that is insanity. Until we live in a utopian society where poverty, sickness, and racial bias have all been but forgotten, and food, water, and shelter are plentiful, I see no reason to trap each and every human particle here on this melting pot, or should I say, melting planet. We view our Constitution each through different eyes, yet the pursuit of happiness should not be left up to interpretation. How can Republicans expect a 13-year-old girl and a 13-year-old boy to raise a child effectively and be able to afford all the necessities and doctor visits when neither one is legally allowed to drive? Many states won't employ anyone under the age of 16 years old. Yet in these same states, those too young for full-time employment are still expected to raise a child. Young girls being forced to have unwanted children is not solving a problem, it's creating one. For decades, China would forcibly sterilize young women after their first child, and although this is an extreme example at the other end of the spectrum, the decision is financially sound, something that we Americans seem vehemently opposed to, presumably on account of our moral obligation against communism. Forced sterilization is another form of cruelty, but the reasoning behind the civil rights violation is sound. Now, in order to afford and properly care for a child, having just one will give the parents, inarguably, more financial power. There is most certainly an amount of children which would force the parents under the poverty line. There's most certainly an amount of children which would force the parents under the poverty line, and that exact amount is never discussed in the U.S. Yet two parents earning potentially $15 an hour should have a limit on the amount of children that they can actually afford. We love to isolate the issues, but refuse to separate our moral codes from common sense and individual preference. We are not all the same, and we are not altogether different. We can each gather together at the end of the day and bond over the food, water, and shelter that we each need to survive. We were not all created equal, and we each were not born with the same genes and DNA. The same way you have a group of friends, and some can drink 1 or 2 drinks and be perfectly content, and others can drink 10 or 20 drinks and be perfectly content as well. Some women's bodies designed for baby making, and it's a smooth, organic process. May not even need a doctor. Other women's bodies act like some sick, cosmic joke, designed for baby making, but incredibly difficult to conceive, breed, and proceed, if you know what I mean. The traditional birthing process can be potentially life-threatening to both mother and child. Therefore, doctors will readily perform a C-section with or without consent. Even our biological clocks have gender bias, destroying a woman's ability to have children at around age 50. While a man can father a child up until his late 90s and beyond. and beyond.
And beyond. Beyond. And beyond.
Thank you, Mitch. Touch yourself. Hoy vey. These kids in their frocks. My day. We ever lost attention? Rabbi Redbottom would make sure we find it. Okay. Here we go. Hello. How are you all doing? Please allow me to get comfortable. Very exciting night. How are you all doing? What does it mean to be pro-life versus pro-choice? And currently, it comes down to the access of birth control and abortion facilities to women and whether they should have the right to choose, i.e., play God. Now, Rabbi, wait. You dropped your cap. Oh, good heavens. Yarmulke. But that means my bald spot is showing. Thank you, my son. Thank you. May your children be blessed with gender identities that perfectly align with their sexual orientation. Oh, you'll be in my prayers before Mother tonight. God. That man is not a disciple. He's eaten enough Jesus crackers to be holier than thou. All right. Most millennials will have no interest in discussing whether a woman should have a right to do anything. The answer will be a resounding yes. Yes. We can debate what constitutes a woman and if a biological man could indeed have a child of his own, but there are many bastardizations of the process. This is not a foolproof process. It's a bit like trying to paint the walls of your house with the Jackson Pollock technique. Sex is a sacred act. It's part of our DNA. And to see it abused and promoted as a commodity is a severe deviation from its intended purpose. That's why we see Paris Hilton advertising hamburgers, and every red carpet event is another chance to showcase the least amount of fabric that can be used to cover one's nipples. If pro-lifers can't control the marketing and the destruction of sexual attitudes, then they'll have to control the rights to sexual freedom. Marriage has been our holiest of vows for a few centuries now. And up until the 1960s, man's primary way of alleviating all the guilt and shame built upon premarital relations. We needed to establish a safe space in which to confide our devilish sexual desires. By promoting monogamous relationships, the spread of STDs is somewhat contained.
STDs spread through sexual contact and the exchange of bodily fluids. Risk of transmission increases with every new encounter. Let us consider the root cause of STDs for a moment. What is to stop one man from impregnating 50 to 100 women, or all the women in one city for that matter? Aside from individual preferences and sexual desires, nothing but STDs. Nature has a way of influencing humans to obey her will without displaying strict laws. It would be a disservice to mankind to allow one man so much power to pollute the bloodlines.
We need diversity in order to produce the most effective and powerful offspring and equip them with the best defenses on a biological level. Men must admit partial responsibility and agree that what a woman does with her own body is none of their goddamn business. Stay-at-home women have never been viewed as more lazy or suppressed as they are right now. But couldn't this be just a little bit more manipulation?
Yeah, if I were them, I'd be asking for more pay. I might even be asking not to come into the office at all. Here, here. Here, here.
Here, here.
Here, here. Since the dawn of man, life has not been valued very highly, or treasured as something that should be protected at all costs. Mother Nature would be a hell of a lot more comfortable if it was intended to preserve life as its sole purpose. Unfortunately, Mother Nature is always trying to kill you. Once you come to grips with the severe magnitude of carnage that has taken place through centuries of countless civil wars, genocides, hurricanes, floods, school shootings, and atomic bombs, you begin to realize that if life can so easily be taken away, it must just as easily continue to exist. To be equipped with minds ready to grapple the universe's ambiguous mysteries and only be allowed 100 work-year visa to complete that task, that would be pointless. And how many things do you come across in nature that are pointless?
Millennials are all about sustainability, and unfortunately, raising children is not sustainable. Childbearing should be a choice, and that choice should be treated with respect and reside with the one who has to bear the child. Republicans are touting the higher moral ground on this argument and vowing to exterminate each and every threat to potential innocent life.
Now, I do not fully endorse each and every opinion expressed by my fellow Republican brother and sisters on this particular subject. Now, we may all wear red, some of these sons of bitches, but 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 some of these sons of bitches are as blue-bellied as the Creamits underneath the rock from underneath the rock that they had to crawl it. Some of these sons of bitches are as blue-bellied as the Creamits underneath the rock that they had to crawl out from underneath. That being said, until a child is forced to breathe the same polluted air, excuse me, that the rest of us depend on to sustain life, they're not alive in the same sense that we are all right now. Yes, it seems cruel to think that anything could inhibit potential life from getting the opportunity to flourish. But we must have standards. We must allow ourselves to see the bigger picture. We are ripe and ready to complain about institutionalized racism, low-income housing, and what we are allowed to teach our children. Yet, we view this world as a sanctuary or utopia for all unborn fetuses and fertilized eggs. Many of us are living in situations that see very little light at the end of the tunnel. And we were born carrying these sins on our shoulders. You may think that those who struggle with poverty just do not apply themselves. But in most cases, that person was not given the proper education or opportunities from a very early age. We have a fundamental crisis in this country, and it involves the complete disconnect from children and their potential careers. If we don't fix the current structure and start empowering young people with high-paying positions, then to insist that any and all life be ushered into this world without any consideration into the quality of that their life, just continues the cycle of poverty and decreases the chance of those parents ever raising their heads above water. And this should be painfully obvious. Let us peel off the face paint, put down the signs, and have a real discussion about each case individually and treat life as sacred as you claim it to be. Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for this evening. Thank you, Rabbi Goldschmeckle, for that inspirational message. I think I speak for everyone when I say that you resonated with each and every one of us tonight. I think I even got some on. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much, Cool Endings, for being tonight's entertainment. Please visit coolendings.bandcamp.com to listen to all the music and get the latest record. Thank you so much for coming. We so much enjoyed doing this for you. We love seeing you here. We love seeing your faces. Subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Terrific time this evening. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye. See ya. Love you. Bye. And beyond. Off the face paint. Put down. Let us peel off the face paint.
Now how about you? How about you? Baby, you got love. So darling, now that makes two.